I sincerely don't want to make this video, but after the live stream section I had with some of my guests regarding this particular topic, I decided to come up with this video. Because at the end of the day, what we need is educating ourselves. That is one of the fastest way to grow together. So let's educate ourselves. I said categorically that I don't want to be a feminist. I don't want to carry the label of being a feminist. I have a lot of people that's coming from my head. And I also have that same topic discussed on my live stream the other day. And we have, quite numbers of views, diverse opinion, which is also fine. But here is it. A lot of people dragging me currently are arguing that feminists feminism gave me voice. Feminism is the reason I am going to school today. Feminism is the reason I have a bank account with a bunch of other things. Now, to start with the first one, feminism gave me voice. A lot of times that you guys argue, you don't understand your history. In fact, most of you even have identity problem. And that's why some of you come on social media and say things you are not aware about. Let's start with the voice. As a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one of the things that I'm meant to enjoy as my fundamental human right is the right to freedom, right to freedom of speech, right to own a property, right to movement. I can go on and on. So I don't see any reason why I should first carry the label of a feminist when I can first carry the label of a Nigerian to enjoy my rights. That is one. Secondly, feminism is what gave me the rights and privilege to own a bank account. Again, I disagree. As at when First Bank was propounded, they did not categorically say that this bank is for men and men alone. In fact, there is no woman in the history that tried to open a bank account with First Bank and was, sent back just because she is a woman. We have not seen that in history. Why should I argue that with you guys again? Go back to your history. The third one you guys is saying is the fact that feminism is, open room for me to go to school and be educated. Again, I disagree. A lot of time when you guys talk as if the structure of the pre-colonization era is the same structure with the colonization era. They are two different structures. And during the pre-colonization era, we have more of the monarchical system of government than what we have now, democracy. So they are not two systems. You can't compare that to. And back in those days, during pre-colonization era, we have the elderly ones in the community that will gather people, teach them about their culture, teach them about their language. That's one of the way to educate themselves, especially we that we are a Yoruba person. We have our own way of, you know, people teaching us abidi. That was our own traditional education. But a lot of time that you guys argued in the context of the Western education. Again, when did this colonizer brought education to us? When did the missionaries brought education to us? Let's even look back at history. When missionary brought education to us, one of the secondary school they propounded is the Methodist Boys Secondary School. Now, pick your phone up, check Google. As at the time they propounded the Methodist Boys Secondary School, they propounded the Methodist Girls Secondary School a year after that. I don't know if you guys' argument is the fact that they propounded the boys' secondary school before the girls' secondary school. So who was the girls attending that school as at that time? I'm asking you guys again. All the arguments that you guys are making is the fact that during pre-colonization era, girls were not allowed to go to school. During pre-colonization era, what we have is not Western education, my people. What we have is our own traditional way of educating ourselves. There was no Western education. Western education and religion was brought to us. We don't have it before. And even religion too. We'll come back to that conversation later. So what I'm just trying to tell you guys is that pick your phone sometimes, research, Google before you come online and start spilling, things you are not aware about. That is you misinforming the coming generation. That is you misinforming my daughter's generation. And she have to be protected. That is one of the reasons I'm even making this video. And let's go beyond that a little bit. If somebody tell you that they don't want to identify themselves as feminists or as a feminist, this is because they have done their due research. If you also do your due research, you can decide to not identify yourself as a feminist. For me to fight for the right of the next person behind me or beside me, I don't have to carry the label of feminist. What I need is common sense. Yes, what I need is common sense. Before I can pull down the most powerful man on earth, what I need is just being a woman, knowing the kind of power I carry, knowing my place as a woman. That's just what I need. And a lot of you have also argued that in the Igbo land, the woman is not allowed to buy a property. The woman is not this. This one have, you know, this one is a trending news that in Igbo land, in fact, we have all know all the bad things about the Igbo culture. And there are some of the things I even disagree with you guys with the fact that I'm not even Igbo. See, if you cannot own a property in Igbo land, you can fight your people with the law. In the Nigerian constitution, they did not say that the right to own a property is limited to men or the right to own a property is limited to E. No, the right to own a property is for everybody and anybody. You understand that? So if you cannot own a property or you cannot buy a house in Igbo land, according to you guys' arguments on the internet, you can fight them with the law. The law that surpasses everything is the supreme law. So you can use that to fight anything. You can use your law to fight your culture if you think your culture is demonic and barbaric to you. Again, I don't want to label myself as a feminist because I have my common sense to know that I am not equal to anybody or the right that the other person deserves. I just need a common sense to do that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you still feel like dragging me, I mean, why not? Again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Time Out with Lima.